Mount Everest. To the world, it's the ultimate challenge. A frozen monolith of rock and ice that scrapes the stratosphere. But this mountain is more than just a destination. It's a living, breathing giant that defies the laws of stagnation. While you sit here, the summit is moving further away from the center of the Earth. It is a geological beast that refuses to stop growing. But before we understand its future, we must look at its past.
Behind every moment lies a scientific wonder. I'm Kale, and welcome to SciCurios, where curiosity meets science.
In the mid-19th century, the Great Trigonometrical Survey of India began the impossible task of mapping the subcontinent. They saw a peak in the distance, known simply as Peak 15. It wasn't a British explorer who discovered its height, but an Indian mathematician named Rabindranath Tagore. Without computers or satellites, he calculated that Peak 15 was the highest point on Earth. It was eventually named after Sir George Everest, the former Surveyor General, despite his own objection that the local name should be used. But the mountain didn't care what it was called. It just kept rising. This growth is fueled by a collision that started 50 million years ago. The Indian tectonic plate slammed into Eurasia, a slow-motion car crash that crumpled the Earth's crust like a piece of paper. That crash isn't over. The Indian plate is still driving north at 5 centimeters a year. That pressure has nowhere to go but up, pushing the Himalayas higher by millimeters every single year. But recent science has uncovered a plot twist. It's not just the push from below, it's a release from above. The Arun River, causing massive erosion, is actually helping the mountain grow. Think of it like a ship unloading cargo. As the river washes away heavy rock, the crust becomes lighter and floats higher on the Earth's mantle. This isostatic rebound adds an extra boost to Everest's height. But as the mountain grows taller, it becomes deadlier. Above 8,000 meters lies the death zone. Here, the air is so thin it contains only a third of the oxygen found at sea level. In the death zone, the human body literally starts to die, cells starve for oxygen, digestion shuts down, judgment fails. Every step towards the growing summit is a battle against biology itself. Yet, there are those who call this hostile place home. The Sherpa people, often misunderstood as just porters, they're the true masters of the mountain, with genetics adapted to the thin air over thousands of years. To the Sherpas, the mountain is Komolunma, mother goddess of the world. They don't conquer the peak, they visit it with reverence, performing pujas to ask for safe passage before every climb. So if tectonic plates and river rebound are pushing it up, why doesn't it touch space? Because gravity and erosion fight back. The jet stream winds at the summit can hit 200 miles per hour, scouring the rock face. It is an eternal tug-of-war, uplift versus gravity, growth versus decay. But for now, the mountain is winning. Every year, it creeps a little closer to the stars. If you stand on the summit today at 8,848 meters, remember, you are standing on a moving platform. Come back in a geological blink of an eye, and you'd be looking down on your former self. Everest is a reminder that Earth is never finished. It is a work in progress, a masterpiece of geology that is still being painted, layer by layer, inch by inch. So the next time you look at a map, remember, those lines aren't permanent. The world is changing beneath our feet, and the roof of the world is raising the ceiling. Thanks for watching.
Science is everywhere if you just know where to look. Thanks for watching SciCurious. Until next time.